I do a lot. I do videography, photography for Jacquez Productions. That's my own page that I post. Starting to take videos of lowriders, cars, really anything, man. Right now, I'm starting to work with some UNM players, man. Start branding their journey throughout, trying to get onto the NFL and whatnot. Just showing off their like their workouts and whatnot, and like their dedication to the game. So I'm starting to do a lot of media marketing for them. I got the bow tie clothing, man. That's been going on for about 4 years now. For lowriders and whatnot is one of the designs, L Lowrider. Do that, and then also buy and sell classic cars as well, man. Really 55 through 65 Chevys and whatnot is what I specialize in. And what else, man? I mean, shit. I do a lot when it comes to just being creative, man. I don't like to put myself in a box too much.
So let's talk a little bit more about car culture first, and kind of like how you got started in that. What is that community like for somebody who may not know like what the community is?
Okay, so how I got started is, man, it is really my pops. When I was a kid, I was always around cars. I was always watching like car videos of like OG Rider and Cali Swinging, like DVDs, like on my little TV, bro, eating Lunchables, you know what I mean? Just like, watching the lowriders hop down in California, have hopping contests, the car shows. And my pops would take me to car shows, man, since I was like, 2 years old. And I would just, I don't have really any memories. So when I was 2 years old at a car show, I just like, no, that's how it started, bro. Like my earliest memory of cars is when, I'd say, when my dad's 65 Impala, bro. I remember that car, it was red, a white interior. I think I was maybe like 3 or 4 years old when he had that car.
Yeah.
But I mean, and then just kind of ever since then, my pops always brought me to car shows when I was growing up. And then I was able to, that's really what started my photography and videography is the car scene, the car culture, because, I noticed a lot of people started taking pictures of these cars, and, and I'd be like, man, well, I could do that too. And I think, I could, and really I started taking pictures from my dad, because my dad would be like, here son, here's a camera, go around the car show taking pictures, because I want to, have pictures of this show on my camera. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I did that, and I started taking pictures, and then my dad was going through them. I was like, oh man, these are really good pictures. And at the time, thinking to myself, nah, my dad's just telling me that, they're good pictures. Yeah. But when I got older, I started seeing like people get really noticed on Instagram and Facebook and whatnot, building really names for themselves just off taking pictures. And I'm like, man, I could do that, and coming up in the car scene, bro, like my dad has a really big name in the car scene, so I wanted to build my name up in the scene as well, but I didn't want my name to be attached to my dad 100% of the time.
Yeah.
So I wanted to build my own name for something that I'm known for independently, away from my pops. So I figured photography would be a good way for me to achieve that.
Yeah.
So, like I said, the pages that I've seen who get a lot of notoriety from taking pictures is like people who take pictures like with their iPhones. And at the time, that's all I had was an iPhone. So I'm like, you know what? If they could do it, I could do it.
Right.
So that's why I started taking pictures with my iPhones and whatnot. And I was 11, 12 years old when I started Jacquez Productions. And that's when I started taking pictures with my phone, posting on Instagram, go to all the car shows that my dad would take me to. And I would just go around taking all these pictures of all these cars. And man, and then from there, I was like, you know what? I feel like I could do better. So that's why, and then that's when I bought myself my first camera. It was like a $200 setup, bro. It was like a Nikon D3200, and it came with like a couple lenses and some things, and just a bunch of like regular camera kit. But all I cared about was the camera and the lens. So I took that, bro, and I learned how to use it. And I started, using cameras to take my pictures. And that's when I really started getting noticed, bro, for my work, is when I started taking it serious with the cameras. I would go to car shows in Espanola, to Las Lunas. I would document and take pictures and videos of the stuff downtown that would happen down there on 7th Street and Central. And man, the lowrider community, and like you said, it's one of those communities that really anybody who's a good person will fall right into and have a long-lasting stay in the community.
Right.
Because I mean, I would consider us people who have these lowriders as good people, bro, and good-hearted, and want to build a community on us doing what we love to do, is lowride,
Yeah. I'm gonna get up and close the door real quick.
Yeah, for sure. It's a little cold too.
But so I want to talk a little bit more about your relationship with you and your dad, as far as the lowriders go.
Right.
Because at least from my perspective, I feel like that can be a major influence on you as far as the kind of path you're pursuing and things like that, the car culture is the center of what you're doing. Your dad he gave that to you. So how does that relationship continue to help you in your environment now?
Well, not only did my dad bring me or put me around the car culture, he also put me on to life. And he also, since I was, like 10, 11 years old is really when I kind of started to really take what he was saying and actually remembering it and actually thinking about it in my, inner thoughts later throughout the day and whatnot. And, he just told me, if you want to do something, you could do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So really, I just take that, and with everything that I do from then to now to forward, is I just know I could do it based off of just the things my dad taught me into how to hustle, how to promote, how to market, how to talk to people, how to be kind of like a salesman. And yeah, bro, ever since I was a kid, whenever I had like an idea, like, when I was a real small, like when I was like 8 years old, bro, 9 years old, I loved Legos, bro. I love playing with Legos. And I told my dad, hey, I'm going to build a 64 Impala out of Legos. My dad's like, all right, cool. Or a 60 Impala out of Legos. All right, cool. Let's see it. And I go up to my room, bro, digging my thing of Legos. 4 hours later, I bring it to him. He's like, oh, man, this is nice. This is actually legit, And like ever since then, bro, I got that confirmation from my dad, like, all right, like he told me, all right, cool, go ahead and do it. And I'd actually proved to him that I could do it. And he's like, oh, good job, So I always feeling that feeling of like, all right, cool, I did it, Yeah. And kept doing that same thing since I was, ever since then. And when I went to my dad saying, hey, I'm gonna buy myself a camera, he would be like, all right, cool, hell yeah, let's do it. And then just from there, his words of encouragement, like, all right, don't quit, you just gotta put in that time and that work. And then when it comes to selling cars, he taught me really how to talk to people and how to really listen, bro. Really listen to what people tell you, because that's really how you sell things, bro. That's really how you just do that part of the business.
Yeah. So something that I caught in there in your story about the Legos was your belief that you wanted to build something.
Right.
And your dad was very supportive of that.
Yeah.
That kind of ties in nicely, I think, to you building cars.
Yeah.
And then you talk about that whole process of you building cars, and you know what I mean?
So
go into that deeper.
Yeah, man. So I watched my dad build a few cars. I watched my pop's buddies build a few cars when I was a kid. So I kind of always knew the process of it. You always want to find a nice solid car to start with, because that's your base. So you don't have to do a whole lot of rush repair, a whole lot of this and that. But me personally, when it comes to building cars, I've had to face every single obstacle there is, bro, to build a car. Right now, and I'm still not done with it, is a 64 convertible that I'm building. And I bought the car when I was, 14 years old, bro, trying to paint it and have it done fast. But I realized right away that it's not a fast process. It's a lengthy process. It takes a long time, especially if you have a car like I did, with needs rust repair and needs everything, bro. So full frame off restoration will take, it's been taking me 5 years, 6 years. It's taking people 10 years to do it. So I think it just goes down to the base thing is don't give up. Always believe that the end product will come, and just stay faithful, man. That's the best advice I could say to any car builder, is just stay faithful in what you're doing, and it'll be done one day, man. Shit.
Yeah. Do you think is that a viable industry to go into? Do you think for people looking at that, is that like an easy thing to learn how to do, or is there it's a lot of different pieces involved?
If you have a good team to do the work for you, I feel like you could do it. If you have a good interior guy, a good paint guy, a good chrome guy, a good metal guy, then yeah, of course, it's a great business to get into. But the sad part is, a lot of these guys who have talent and are good at painting, good at doing interior, good at doing this, who have good chrome shops, they are never consistent in their work, and really that's why that goes back to what I said earlier about you being a man of your word, having a good heart, and if you're going to be a part of the car community, you got to have that. You got to be a man of your word. And the thing is, with these painters and these guys who do this work on the cars, they're not men of their word, so that delays business. It delays business. Say you have a car that you buy that you think is going to take a month to paint and finish, and your body man and paint guy takes 6 months, then your investment is withheld for 6 months, and you can't you can't make your profit. Your profit's basically gone because you wasted all that 6 months waiting for this $5,000 profit to come back at you, thinking it was going to take a month.
Yeah.
So it would be a good business if you had a good team to do your work for you, I guess.
And so, what are the different kind of roles or aspects that a team would partake? So you have somebody making the cars, building the cars, and you also have a salesman portion of it. What are the different roles that take place?
Like in team is, if you're going to build a car, you got to have a good paint guy, a good guy who does interior, a good guy who does the chrome work. Because all those things go hand in hand. The car has to come together all at the hands of those people. If you don't know how to do the work yourselves, that's what you got to wait on. I mean, me personally, when I sell my cars, or the cars that I sell, I don't really ever try and do a whole lot of work to them. I try and buy them done. If I need to do anything to them, I might need to rebuild a carburetor or get a little bit of paint, little scratches fixed. Nothing too lengthy, you know. So when it comes to like the team that me and my dad have, you know, we're a good team because we you know, always we trust each other, bro, and you know, we have that trust to where if we go halves on a car, we're gonna he trusts me to sell it, and he trusts me to get as much money as possible, you know.
Yeah. So what I want to tie this into is how the cars is kind of the center of everything else you're doing as far as a clothing brand and a production company.
Right.
So tie those into how does that work inside of those two separate realms as far as clothing and video production?
So, of course, cars is the reason I started video production, and cars, you know, what inspired me to make the bow tie. I mean, it's cool now. Recently, I'm starting to realize the value of having video production skills when you have a clothing brand, because you could also do a lot of the editing and the video marketing yourself. You know, so when I want to shoot like a promo ad for a bow tie ad, I could bring a couple car people that I know from being in the lowrider scene, like, hey man, bring your car to this photo shoot. Hey bro, let's do a photo shoot with your car, and your car code members from my clothing brand. So, you know, being a part of the culture definitely is a big advantage.
Yeah. How does it, so in the age we live in, a lot of people have to play multiple roles as far as you doing the cars, but then also taking time to be the videographer, the editor, but you only use a very small, like a portable almost kind of like camera and setup type of thing.
Right.
Kind of talk to why is that important for you to be able to have that mobility?
Well, so like I said, you know, earlier, is that I always use cameras. I always use, you know, Nikon, Sony's, Canons, but the problem is for pictures, great. They work amazingly, and I still use cameras like the one you're using now to take pictures and sometimes video, but with the age that we live in now, it's a real disposable era right now, you know. The video that you might take on your camera, and you spent so much time to tweak your camera settings and you edit on your computer, might not get as much love as the video you might take on your iPhone. Just a simple little video. And when it comes to what I do, is I just post my stuff on Instagram, really, never really on YouTube. That's why I prefer using the iPhone and editing myself on a phone. That way, if my video is already on my phone, I can just upload it to the app, edit it how I need to edit it, put my music over how I need the music, edit the music, and then I post it right away. I don't have to go pull the videos off my camera and then airdrop them to my phone or email them to my phone, and then have to, or use a editing software on the computer, and then the file ends up being too big to put on my phone. Like, I don't know, I feel like nowadays with the technology inside a phone with the camera, you get almost just as good quality as if you were to use, you know, A7 III, A7R4, right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so does that play into when deciding what kind of platforms you want to go out on, whether it's Instagram or TikTok, does that play into your role? Like, I don't necessarily want to take as much time doing like a longer style video because I do have the responsibility of taking care of the cars and doing the bow tie and everything else like that.
I would like to do longer content. With the car stuff, like I said, it's really like the attention span's not there. So if I go take a video of a whole car show with my camera and post an hour video on YouTube, I feel like not a whole lot of people won't appreciate it as much if I just post 100 or 200 Instagram reels of the best highlights of that car show.
Right.
You know, and I just feel like your work gets appreciated more, gets seen more. You know, right now Instagram and Facebook are really boosting reels to everyone who has an Instagram account. So, you know, it's a good way to expose the culture, and I think it's great right now. I mean, I've seen a lot of videographers and photographers even switch over to posting iPhone filmed reels, right. And their accounts have gone up just because of their skills that they had with their camera. They apply it to the phone, and it just makes a good mix.
So something I wanted to catch.
Yeah.
You were talking about how Facebook is now pushing Instagram reels,
right,
and stuff like that. Where do you find out your information for things like that? Because that's like a useful tidbit that somebody could like use.
Right. I really just look into, because like something that my grandpa tells me, like, you know, if you're gonna invest in stocks, invest in companies that you use. So I'm like, all right, cool. Well, I'm gonna look into the companies or the social media platforms that I post on. Right. So I watched a couple videos, and you know, I kind of learned like the metrics, because I mean, you could start right now. You could get paid for your Instagram reels. So really, what I did was I just watched a big video on how it all works, how you get paid, how the RPM works, and they're saying, yeah, right now, you know, Facebook is really paying way better because they want to they want to compete with TikTok. Yeah. They want to be the top, they want to be above TikTok, you know. So that's why they're, you know, just making it making your Instagram reels perform better than an actual post. Like I don't know if you've noticed, if you post a picture, it might not do as good as an Instagram reel because of the algorithms they're trying to push. You know, they're trying to, like even on the Instagram app, they'll want to, like if you go tap on someone's reel and you swipe, it'll show you a whole other reel that has nothing to do with what you just watched to try and entice you to keep on scrolling. You know what I mean?
How do you, sorry, 1 second. Shoot, I forgot what I was going to talk about for that, bro. But what I did want to mention, do you have any cool like car show stories that you can talk about? Just like something maybe crazy that happened, or just a really good experience from one of those?
Let me think, man. I got a lot, bro. I got a lot. Let me just think, man, for a minute.
Go ahead, bro.
So I've been going to car shows like, man, I remember the first car show that my dad took me that my dad took me to out of town. And it was the first time that my mom didn't go. It was just me and my pops, and it was his friend, a few of his friends, bro.
Yeah.
And we were going to the one in Phoenix, and we drove out there. It was cool because we took my pop's car, and we showed out there. But it was cool because it was I was hanging around my dad's friends, and bro, they didn't have no filter around me, bro, at all. My dad didn't. None of their friends did, bro. So it kind of made me feel like one of the guys, bro. And I feel like that's a big part of my upbringing, is because I was never babied as a kid. I seen people drinking, smoking weed, doing drugs at a very young age, so I was exposed to it, bro, you know? And I feel like, you know, that has a big part of kind of the maturity level, I feel like. But back to you saying a funny story, bro, it was hilarious. So my dad's buddy stops at the gas station. And he gets a bunch of candy, bro, a bunch of gummies. And he tells me, he's like, you know, because I'm a little kid, you know, I'm like 11 years old, 10 years old. No, 8 years old at the time, 8 years old. Okay. He's like, hey, you know, little Ken, if you want some of my gummies, you know, just let me know. I'll give you whatever, give you a couple, whatever. And me thinking like, all right, cool. You know, he offered me some of his snacks. So my pop's homie takes a nap, bro. Like, and you know, a 4-hour or whatever nap. And I don't know, bro. I guess I didn't eat breakfast or something, but I ate all of his gummies, bro. All of them. He had like the gummy frogs, the gummy sharks, the little, I don't even know, bro. Just a bunch of good shit. Yeah. And he wakes up from his nap and he tries to go like dig in the bag, the grocery bag or the Kmart bag to get his gummies or whatever, his candy. And he's all, what the fuck, dog? Little Ken ate all my damn gummies or whatever. I left maybe like half of a bag of like some, I don't even know, bro. It was probably the wackest candy that was in there. Yeah. That was funny, bro. And then at that show, I really got a sense of like, wow, people in Phoenix do this. People in like out of New Mexico, like really like build these nice cars, bro. And I really got to see like the kind of styles from Phoenix, from California, from Nevada, in that one area. So it kind of gave me like a good insight of what kind of car, like what's quality, I guess, you know?
Yeah, definitely. All right, let's go take a look at some of these car shows, because I was just looking at your like just photos from your old Weebly for Jacquez Productions.
Oh, you found that?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
you found the Weebly website. Damn. Hey, I forgot that existed, bro.
Just taking a look, so
yeah,
you can see it on there.
Oh yeah. So that 57 there, bro, I remember taking that picture. I was so proud of that picture, bro, because it looked so clean, man.
What were you trying to do with this website? Like, what was you thinking while you were?
I don't know, bro. I really just wanted to. At first, I wanted to. I really wanted to showcase all my pictures that I captured at each of these shows, because I remember trying to make these like for the Denver show, I think I put one, and then for a certain show I put another one. But it was just a lot to upload all of them at once, and just to be consistent with it. And then at the time I was 7th grade, so I had a lot of homework and whatnot, so I couldn't really focus on it as much as I did or wanted to.
All right, bro. Well, that's not connecting to the Wi-Fi. So anyway, I just wanted to touch on a little bit about like your presence online, and how do you think about that in terms of like your audience? What are you trying to like push out in particular when you're thinking about posting things and stuff like that?
You know what, man? I don't really think too deep into like I really just post what is relevant right now and what I kind of got going on. Like when it comes to like my Instagram, I try and post like as soon as I can. Like say I just say I'm at a car show today, right? And I take a video, I try and post it right away. That way it's the freshest, it's the newest thing out right now. So and that's just whatever cars I see hopping, whatever. When it comes to the bow tie Instagram, I was trying to push the latest product that I got now. Like right now, I'm just trying to hustle the rest of these. Like I'm almost sold out of this last drop, so that way I'm getting ready to drop a new one. Then I just want to hit the ground running with these guys with K9. You know, I'm gonna have them do another shoot and whatnot, and we're just gonna get the ball rolling on that. But yeah, bro, I don't really think too deep into like plan, I guess.
Yeah. Do you think about like the platforms you're on specifically, or is it just like more like the Facebook thing, like they're doing that, so I'm gonna be on this now?
Well, like I started the Jacquez Productions Instagram page in 2015. So right, I in 2015, Instagram was really the only social media platform I ever used. That's the only social media platform I ever used, and I got like an Instagram account when I was like, I don't know, like 10, 11 years old. So I just that seemed to be the only way I could get my work out there at the time, I guess. So I just kind of stuck with it, and then I was able to like it feels good right now that they're starting to pay people, because I'm barely starting to get paid for what I do, what I've been doing for the past 7-8 years for free.
And you're talking about monetization of content creation.
Monetization of content creation is a great thing. It's a beautiful thing, because I mean I've been putting in this work since 2015 on Jacquez Productions, and I never got paid a dime. Never got paid $1. If I got paid, it was just because I'd sell a poster to some people to their car, and that's how I'd hustle, bro. That was really one of my first hustles, was selling. I would go to these car shows and take pictures of people's cars. I would track them down on Instagram or Facebook, trying to find their Facebook account or Instagram account, and I message them like, hey man, would you be interested in a poster of your car? Here's my sizes, how much? And 9 times out of 10, they'd be like, oh man, those are good pictures of my car. Well, only $50 for a 16 by 20, 24 by 30. All right, cool, no problem. And yeah, so I really just feel like the reason I kept with Facebook and Instagram is because I built a network on there since back in the day.
And I think that's a good thing to point out, just the importance of like, when it comes to content creation as a field and as making money and stuff like that, right, you have to find other ways to make money, because the content's not going to make money straight off the top. It's not,
especially if you're first starting off. You got to give people a reason to want to pay you, you know what I mean? And really, the only way you're going to get paid on Facebook and Instagram, sadly enough, is how many followers you have. You might have the most beautiful work and the most wonderful videography or photography in the world, but if you only have 100 followers, no one's ever going to recognize it, or you'll ever get paid for your benefits. But I really feel like that's where the work will attract that respect and that audience. Like I feel like the fact that I've been consistent, posting all the time with these car shows and all that, really shows like the quality of work, and that's just why people want to press the follow button and always tell me, keep on doing your thing, bro, keep on doing your thing.
Yeah. So before I get into what's next for you, a couple things I want to touch on. So the Lobo car video. Oh yeah. Just talk to me a little bit about that experience, what it was like.
That was cool, man. So very first off, Slick had hit me up, and he's like, hey bro, yeah, we got this thing going, possibly, with the Lobo video, do you have any ideas? And I'm like, yeah, I think we should do have some lowriders in it, and we should do this and that. I was saying we should have a lowrider inside the pit where it's pitch black, and have these kind of lights that we got here, making like the artist of King Franco be like the main focus of the car in the background. I was kind of spinning off ideas like, oh man, hell yeah, we should do that. And then we had a conversation, hung up the phone, said whatever, and then the homie 2.0 hit me up on Instagram. He's like, yo bro, we'd love to have you part of this video. And, could you promote the video shoot, because our plan was to have a lot of people pull up to it, because we wanted it to be like a party scene, Yeah. And I was like, yeah, no, 100%, for sure, and I said, I'm down to bring one of my personal cars. My pops brought his Red 60, which was featured in the video as the main car. And then, and as the time went on, we had a meeting here, and we kind of spitballed some ideas, went back and forth. And then I just said, I can have a bunch of cars pull up, a bunch of lowriders come to the video shoot, because I feel like it's a very New Mexico thing to have lowriders involved in this such New Mexico song. So that's what we did, man. I hit up a bunch of clubs and people from my car club and just friends that I know that would be down, and they all pulled up, man. And it was a good turnout. They brought their families, so they were all in the video. It was a good thing, man. And I feel like for Franco, man, it's gonna be a good look. I feel like the video, and shout out to the crew, man, Edits 2.0. K9 for bringing it all together, man. I mean, shit, it was cool.
Definitely. And then we kind of went over it a little bit, but just give me can you give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the steps that you go through for getting a car sold and fixing it up?
Okay, so just getting it sold, right? Okay, so say for example today, I told you, I just bought a car today, so first step would be, okay, so once I get the car in, the first step would be go over it, right? Make sure it's everything that the person I bought it off of said it was. You know, go over it, make sure, cool, it's everything he said it was, all right. You know, step 2, let's wash it. Make sure it's nice and cool. Wash it. All right, it looks presentable. All right, step 3, I'm gonna take it to a spot that I take my videos and pictures at. You know, has good lighting. You know, has a good backdrop kind of. So I take the car there. I shoot Instagram reels. I take probably, I say, about 15 to 20 videos,
Okay.
Instagram reel kind of videos of the car, because really that's how I sell my cars, bro. Is just posting Instagram videos, and they blow up because it's a cool video, but they also see, oh, the car's for sale. So they share it to a bunch of people, and I really feel like that's my advantage over other car sellers, as I have the platform and I have the background of being a videographer, photographer, to display the things in a certain way people may not think of, you know.
Right.
And then I guess you could say, you know, step 4, it would be to, you know, take pictures of the actual car, you know, because you got to put it on Facebook, and that's, you know, they don't let you post videos in Facebook groups. You got to post pictures. So, you know, do a cool little photo shoot with it, and then step 5 is post it, right? Put your price, and then step 6 is wait for it to sell.
Yeah.
You know, it's a pretty straightforward process.
And then that last step about you ship it off yourself too?
So the buyer could do it in a few different ways. So if a buyer wants to come out and fly down or drive down and pick up the car, which I welcome, I want that 100% of the time, honestly, because I want the buyer to know what they're buying. I don't want the car to show up and like, how come you didn't tell me about this or what, like that. You know, I really wish they would just come down and look at it and make sure it's cool with them before they even buy it, you know. So if they want to do that, they either I really just tell them, bring me a cashier's check, bro, because I can't take a bunch of cash into a bank and be like, hey, I want to deposit, and like, well, where'd you get this? And sometimes, bro, they want to pay me in 20s and 10s and 50s, and not all blue faces, so it's hard to count.
Yeah.
So, you know, they'll most likely just bring a cashier's check or whatever, or if they bring cash, that's fine too. And then from there, they'll go through it, look at it, and then they like it. Most of the time, they just take it back home and buy it. And then if they want to not come down and look at it and buy it sight unseen, they would just send a bank wire. And then once the bank wire clears, I have a really good transport broker that picks up a lot of my cars. True Auto Transport. They do all my transporting for me if it's up to me. You know, of course, if the buyer has their special transport company, I'll let them do it, because it's up to the buyer at the end of the day, right? They're going to pay for it. So yeah, they would just send the payment, and the car get picked up, and it's on its way.
Yeah. How did you decide what transporter you're going to go through? Is it just someone you've known regularly?
So it's just kind of like a reference, man. You know, like a lot of guys in the car flipping game that I look up to, they used her in the past, and when me and my pop started taking it serious, we just have used her and never had any issues at all. And just, you know, like I said, just if you don't have a problem with the recipe, don't change it. You know,
Right.
It's always worked.
Yeah, you talk about references being important. One thing that I like that you did is you have like a reference page on your Instagram, and it's just like reviews. People.
For the Kit Connection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just could you give any more just like tidbits of advice for content creators or just entrepreneurs in general that are things like that they can start doing that could just elevate their business just a little bit?
Well, for content creators, I tell every content creator is that stay consistent with your work. If you're going to be posting Instagram reels and pictures and whatnot, try and post at least 3-4 times a week, you know. Stay consistent with your thing and just kind of mix it up a little bit, you know. And you know, and that's what I explain what my growth has been, just being consistent. You know, if you be consistent enough, your stuff will get shared enough times, viewed enough times, to where you'll build a strong following, and from there you'll just keep getting bigger and bigger. And then on the entrepreneur side of it, you know, for example, like the shoe business, you got to have references in the shoe business, bro, because when I first started, it's very different to what it is now. I got out the game because it's changed, bro. It's changed drastically. You know, like when I first started, you know, there was less scamming, there was less just bullshit going on. It was more authentic. It was more like, I just bought a pair of shoes, and the guy who I bought this pair of shoes off of seemed like a really good sneaker guy. You know, I could trust him. And that's kind of where the references start off of, because if you have references of a bunch of people saying, oh yeah, good business, people won't fear like, oh, this guy's going to sell me, you know, or this guy's not going to just take my money and not ship me my pair of shoes, you know. If there's actual proof that this person has done good reviews or has done good business, then it's a more % chance that you'll get clients, you know. Yeah. And that even goes with the car game too. Like right now it's messed up in the game. because there's a lot of scammer pages that take my pictures and other people's pictures who sell parts and cars, and they try and portray an image as it's them selling it. And bro, they post cars for sale for stupid cheap, right?
Yeah.
And people buy into it. Like,
how do you combat that as like the person that's being mimicked?
And that's why I post videos with my watermark over it. I don't really post a whole lot of pictures of the car. When I do, that's very minimal, but I really try and sell my car just off videos, because at least if they take my video and they try and cut out my watermark, it's not going to look right. You're going to have half the car cut off.
Just like a screenshot or something, it's not going to be as easy as just a photo.
Yeah, exactly, bro, exactly. And it's hard to combat that, man. I mean, it's hard even just on the simplest things, man. Like, for example, today I put for sale like a little vacuum pop trunk part. I didn't put any watermarks on it. I just posted it on my story. So if someone's on my story, they could just screenshot that, post that on their story on their Instagram, and it could be like they're selling it,
Yeah.
And all it takes, bro, for them guys is just to get a deposit. Like a lot of the times is when you're buying and selling a car, you want to get a deposit from the buyer to confirm the deal, right?
If you're scamming, I'm just trying to get something anyway.
If you're scamming, you post a car for $28,000, like, oh man, a $50,000 car for 28 grand. Like, oh yeah, well, I'll send you a deposit to hold the car for sure. I don't want no one else to buy it. You thinking it's a real deal, and then boom, they got your $500. They don't want the other 27.5 because they already got your 500.
Right. Exactly. So I want to do a little bit of a lightning round.
Okay.
We'll do some quick questions.
All right.
But before that, just kind of talk about what's next for Jacquez Productions, Thabowtie, just Marcos Jacquez in general. What's next for you?
So I say really like what's next for me, man, is just staying, continuing to be myself, man, and just being consistent, being really just keep on doing what I keep on doing, man. I mean, I see myself. Like one of my long-term goals is to direct music videos, just be a director, bro, because I feel like I have a lot of good ideas when it comes to creative projects. I have a lot of creative input, and it really makes the product and the project, I feel like, prosper more when I have that little bit of input. So I just want to be able to produce my own content, say like shoot music videos for local artists or other artists out of state. I would like to do that. Maybe eventually I would like to start filming more on my camera, start learning how to actually be good, use my camera the way it's supposed to be used. Like I said, I only use it to take pictures. Really, I never really use it to take videos. So I really want to just learn more about this. Let's learn information, man. I guess with me is the more you know.
Yeah.
And then for the bow tie, it's interesting, bro, with the bow tie, because I don't know really what the future holds for it, but I do know this year. I mean, I plan to go to a lot of car shows, to have my booth at the car shows, because that's really my heart of the business, is popping up at these events and selling my clothes there, and I damn near sell out every time. So I just want to go to as many events as possible, I guess you could say. Like, this year I'm planning to go to like seven out of state events. Last year I did like 4, and the year before that I did like 2. So maybe just keep on doing more of that, kind of make my brand more known in the space, in the car game and whatnot, and then hopefully get to a place for the bow tie to where I can start selling consistently online. Like, I want to be able to drop and for it to sell out. You know what I mean? I want it to sell out. I'm not trying to have to wait a month for it to sell out. I want to be able to, all right, cool, I'm gonna make an order for 500 t-shirts. Boom, sold out. All right, cool. Let's go on to the next drop next week. Boom, sold out. So I guess that could be my long-term goal.
Yeah.
Now that I'm starting to think about it and talk about it, I think that's my long-term goal, bro. Is to be able to put out a product, people love it, and I have that following where they support it, and then boom, all right, cool, we're gonna crop it. Cool, sold out.
Yeah.
And
those are like, I like both of those things just because of like the one you said about going to out-of-state events.
Yeah.
Because those are tangible. You could see that, like you're saying, like I started 2, 4, I went to 7 last year, or I want to go to 7 this year.
Yeah.
Like that's something tangible. And then the selling out thing, even if you don't necessarily get there with like immediately, you can tell like, okay, I'm getting quicker with the sellouts. It's taking this many days now. It's taking this many days now.
Yeah, no, bro, and that's what it is. Like, you just gotta like. The more I started posting more often on the Bowtie account, more Instagram reels, more pictures of the model shoots, more design pictures. Just posting more and putting my links to purchase on my stories. Just by doing that, bro, I've been selling way more than I ever have, bro. So like I'm saying, just learning more information about the game, just kicking back and just learning, taking in the game, learning from mistakes, learning from successes as well, bro. I feel like a lot of people could learn from their successes to avoid their mistakes, but I just goes back to just, you guys gotta think, you know, like, all right, cool, well, how could it go this way? And it's always like, think of like how things could go, because you never know, bro, how things could turn.
Yeah. All right. Lightning round.
All right.
You ready?
Yeah.
Got 10 questions for you.
Okay.
Just answer them as quick as you can. What are the 6 designs up on the bow tie right now for t-shirts?
6 designs?
Yeah, there's 6 of them. Do you know what
Okay,
they
I got
are?
the VIP, I got the Low Rider, El Gato, El Bamba, or La Bamba, Doggy Style, Death Row 63, Randy's Donuts 59. I got the Las Vegas, well, those are hoodies. Las Vegas t-shirt.
Yeah, just the t-shirt. Just
Oh,
t-shirts.
those are t-shirts. Okay, I got the El Gato, Felix, got the VIP, got the LO Rider, got the La Bamba, and the Vegas tees right now.
Okay.
But the Vegas and the Felix dealership ones, those are basically sold out. I gotta take those off. I don't want people to order them. Like, oh shit, I don't have it.
Okay. Number 2, between shoes, clothes, cars, video production, you can only do one for the rest of your life. Which one are you gonna have to pick?
Cars, bro, cars. Like, ever since I was a little kid, bro, like, I just always had a bunch of like these little model cars and just always played with them, bro. And like, my dream is just to have a bunch of cars to where I could just take one out on a morning, bro, go get breakfast, and just cruise, and not have to worry, and then like see like the Shopify ding ding ding, fucking for the orders, and I don't even have to worry, bro. Like, be able to have that income to where I don't have to care.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So the cars, bro, I really feel like the cars.
All right, so that picture you just described, you're cruising down the street. What song is playing?
Man, all right. So if I'm in a car with switches, man, all right. If I'm in a car with switches, I gotta take it back to my roots, bro. It has to be Nothing But a G Thing, bro.
Okay.
That was the first song ever that I just I seen the dream, bro. I was like, I need to be listening to this song in a ragtop 64 cruising. Like, that's just my dream.
Absolutely. Okay. Most important person to Marcos Jacquez's success that's not named Marcos Jacquez.
Kenneth Jacquez, 100%. Like I said, you know, he put me onto the game of low riding when I was a kid. Put me on to how to hustle and how to achieve my dreams, and showing me, bro, that it's possible. It's possible. I mean, even seeing where my pops came from, it showed me that it's possible to get to where I want to get, you know?
Right. A well-known figure whose success inspires you.
A well-known figure whose success inspires me. Man, well, I guess you could say, like, for like media, man, I gotta say, like, for pictures, I gotta say 2 Tons, Beto Mendoza, man.
Okay.
He was the head photographer for LRM, Lowrider magazine, for a long time. So I always looked up to him since I was a kid, man, as a photographer and whatnot. I mean, as like in business wise, I mean, man, I don't know, man. I mean, I haven't seen anybody achieve the dream I want to achieve in the way I want to achieve it yet. So I want to be the first one to be able to, I guess, do it the way I want to do it.
Definitely, man.
Yeah.
Your favorite car that you've, refurbished and resold?
Refurbished and resold. Man, I had a 64 hardtop that was nice, bro. I bought it from this dude in New York, and it had a gold, it had a pattern top, and it was cream, it had a cream color, and it had some funky interior, some Cheech and Chong interior, bro. And so I got the interior replaced, a nice original interior, shout out Gina Ciadella, and then I got the top painted the same color as the car, put hydraulics in it. Bro, that was a cold piece, bro. Yeah. That was a nice car.
Okay. The car that you want to work on that you haven't worked on yet?
Man, I want a 59 Impala, bro. I mean, I really want 59 Rag, or a 61 convertible, either one of the two.
Okay. Red or green?
My favorite color is red, but on cars I like greens.
Okay.
I like the mint greens, or like, it depends on the car, but I feel like there's too many red cars.
Okay. I was really asking like chili, like the New Mexico.
Oh, okay, yeah. I see what you mean.
Honestly, that was still a good answer for that too, though.
Yeah, for sure.
But you wanted to go for chili? Do you eat chili?
I do. Every single day, bro. Every single day. But I'm a red person at heart. I when I was a kid, I didn't like green just because of the way when my pops and my mom would peel it. I didn't like how it smelled. I was like, that smells like shit. And I just never really, just because of that, I never really gave it a chance when I was a kid. But now that I've grown up, I've started to put a love towards
do a little
green.
bit of both.
A little bit of both, yeah, for sure.
All right. And then how many cars would you say you've worked on in your life?
Worked on or owned?
I would say like that have gone, like, you know what I mean, that you've like sold, I guess.
Like gone through and
that have
owned.
gone through your process.
Man. I'd say since I started actually buying my own cars 4 or 5 years ago, I'd say, bro, I probably went through maybe 150, 180 cars just between me owning them and just selling them, going through them, you know, projects, whatever it is, you know.
Yeah, that's dope. All right, that's all I got for you. You want to do any promo?
Yeah, man.
Anything
So
like that?
I got Long Beach Super Show, March 4th. If you're gonna be up in Long Beach at the Long Beach Convention Center, come stop by the bow tie booth. We're gonna have 2 new designs that are fresh, brand new. We got the 213 Super Show design, then we got the Whittier Felix design that I'm coming out with. Then I'm bringing back the doggy style in a different way. Then I got the Dr. Dre Chronic design coming back in a different way. Just remixing it, doing it different from the last release. Stay on the lookout for the bow tie at your local car show. We're planning to do Las Vegas, Arizona, Anaheim, like I said, Long Beach, Albuquerque, Denver, Colorado Springs possibly, and then any more that come to mind, man. Follow Jacquez Productions for the best car page for lowriders. You know what I mean? Right now we're at a 143K, so I'm trying to get the 200 by the end of the year. So I really appreciate that follow. What else, man? Just stay tuned, man, just for what's coming next.